Welcome to RCR Wireless News. I'm Martha DeGrasse, and I'm here with Lynn Smith. He is a program manager at Vertex Innovations. Lynn, thanks so much for making the time today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
So our topic today is fiber and all its many applications in the mobile networks. So I'd like to start off just by asking you which application you see the most demand for fiber with. Fiber to the tower, C-RAN, DAS, where do you see the most demand for fiber in the network at this time?
So I basically see it, fiber coming in for both C-RAN and fiber to the cell. Basically, we're deploying the C-RAN technologies, which bringing fiber in to the cell sites now. I basically work in a macro project where we bring fiber and have it delivered to cell sites, whether they be towers or buildings. That's the new thing is not only a tower, but buildings are really big in the network.
Okay, yeah. And do you mean just wiring a building, or like a building being used for like a baseband hotel, or what?
Yeah, so buildings are now becoming basically cell sites. Basically mounting the antennas on the tops of the buildings and putting a standalone, either a platform site on top for the actual cell site.
Okay. Let's talk about starting with the tower. What are some of the biggest challenges that your teams face in bringing fiber to the tower tops to support those tower top radios?
So one of our biggest challenges is the meet points with the fiber vendors. Basically, we're leasing the fiber from another provider, and one of our biggest challenges has been the meet point, you might say. Is it at the row, at the end of the right of way, or is it at a demarc in the building, or at the bottom of the tower? We're using new technologies to overcome some of these obstacles, where traditionally we had to do site walks. And what a site walk was, both parties go out and decide this information. We're now doing that using Skype for Business, GoToMeeting. We're using Google Earth as our ability to sit behind our desk with engineers, and we look at it together. We decide, hey, this is a good meet point. It's within the easement that the provider has been given by the landlord. And we're able to finalize that piece of the puzzle way up front. It saves tons of money. We don't have to put assets in the field, today to do it. We can do it, like I said, through the Skype network or Google Earth. By doing so, what that does is it helps get fiber delivered sooner. Because now we're taking weeks and if not months off of traditional, let's do a sidewalk, let's get a PO cut, let's get out to the site. By doing this and using drawings in place of it, we've eliminated months from a delivery standpoint.
Do you use drone technology at all for photographs?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Do you use drones at all to photograph the sites?
Not yet. We don't use drones on the fiber delivery piece of it. We're basically, we use a set of drawings and, like I said, Google Earth to get a real view of what we're looking at. And from that meet point, we're ready to go.
Okay. Now, are those same technologies applicable when you're planning front haul for a C-RAN deployment?
Yes, we can look, and a lot of times we'll do it, via web meeting. Back in a few years ago, everybody was getting together in a big conference room. You had a lot of drawings. Now all that can be shared virtually, and it's sped up the delivery of fiber by months. I know it's hard to believe, but we actually can deliver. Used to take 6 to 8 months. We're probably doing it in 4 months now.
So now, is that for a tower or a small cell or for what?
It could be done for everything.
Okay.
Basically, if the provider, if the the operator provides us drawings, that whole aspect of the design can be done up front now from your desktop. And what that does, it allows the fiber vendors to apply for permitting, finish their designs, there's no waiting for everybody to get together. It's basically, here we go, we can take a look at it, we do a meeting, and we're off to the races. And
Excellent.
that's it for all technologies. Yeah.
Excellent. Any other cost efficiencies that you want to highlight, ways that you're bringing costs out of the system?
I think one of the big pieces we take out is with the ability to use the cloud services that, that a lot of companies are embracing now. We can do webinars and meetings with all the vendors. So in my program alone, we have weekly calls with all the fiber vendors to understand where they're at in permitting with local governments. We look at their designs, where they're going to be. And what we're trying to do now is time the delivery of fiber when the actual cell site will be constructed. So there's no downtime. Basically, a few years ago, a cell site would be built and fiber would be brought to it. That's a resource setting, wasting time. So nowadays, we're trying to deliver fiber within 2 weeks of the site's being constructed.
Okay, great. What would you say is the biggest challenge right now with the CRAN deployments particularly?
The biggest challenge for CRAN deployment.
Or with the small cells, maybe?
Well, I can talk a little bit about CRAN. So CRAN type deployment requires a hub site to feed the nodes, which are the new builds off of it. So I think the biggest challenge for everyone is to get the hub sites up and running so they can provide the fiber to all the node sites off of the CRAN technologies.
Okay, great. And what about the transport and interconnect business? I know that's a big part of what Vertex does. How is CRAN changing that?
Well, I don't think that CRAN technology has changed how transport still works. We're still seeking contracts with fiber vendors, just like we did with other services. The contracts are a little more complicated. CRAN technology is based on a mileage limitation, so we're really looking closely at the contracts more on how much fiber do we really have in the ground. That pertains to how the equipment will function at the sites. So as far as transport goes, it's pretty much business as usual. It does give us the ability to have more coverage areas from using CRAN sites than before.
Okay, great. And do you find yourself working primarily with dark fiber?
Yes, that is the trend, and I foresee it as being, where things will be in a few more years. I mean, primarily, the majority of our work is dark fiber.
Okay, all right, great. Anything else you want to highlight for us on this topic?
I think overall, I will say this, I'm proud of how we've embraced using the new technologies of the cloud computing. I mean, we track our projects using online cloud-based software such as Smartsheet. It gives transparency to the customer. It also helps us be better at what we do. I definitely hand a lot of our success to those technologies and embracing them.
And your customer is often either the mobile network operator or the contractor, right? That is working on behalf of the operator to deploy a set of towers or cell sites, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We handle both, sides of the I don't know what I'm looking for. Both sides of the deployment, from construction side to the fiber piece. And for the most part, all these companies are stepping up and using these new technologies to get the work done faster.
Absolutely, that makes sense. All right, Lynn Smith,
Yeah.
Program Manager with Vertex Innovations. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.